Really easy job to do. Cleaning the machine is a really important thing to do, especially at this time where we don't have the facilities to service machines. I certainly have stopped taking machines in to service. So I want to show you how to take care of your machine. I'm using, or have been using, black thread. Black thread is quite coarse. The dye-to-dye fabric and thread black is quite coarse. So, the fibres tend to be brittle, and these certainly are. This thread was probably dyed in a very dry atmosphere as well, which is why it's shredded all over the machine. You just need to get a vacuum cleaner. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismantle the machine. So I'm taking these needles out because they are no longer needed. I've done a lot of black sewing in this machine. So I've grabbed those needles. I've left the thread in so that they don't fall into the machine. Snip those away. And then put them in the recycling. So put them in a glass jar somewhere, and you can collect all your needles together and throw them into the metal and glass recycling. I'm going to take this foot off. So release that foot, and the spring underneath. Just lift that gently there. So that's the spring there. Just lift that gently. You can remove the foot. And then take this needle plate off like that. This door opens on this particular model. If I remove that and then pull all the threads through the map. So I've got a nylon brush here. The thing about nylon brushes is friction causes static to form, and the fibres will be attracted to the nylon brush. If you rub a balloon on your hair, the hair starts to get attracted to the balloon because you've built up static. So you can carry on going like this all the way through, but with black thread it's very difficult. So what I like to do is just make sure I've grabbed all the bits and bobs. So grab your needle plate and the screw and your foot. Make sure all the important loose bits are well out of the way, and then grab a vacuum cleaner. Don't use pressurized air cans, because what you're going to do is you're going to push. See all these gaps underneath there? What you're going to do is push fibres into there. At the moment, you're not building up any fibres in there. Companies like Janome have built them so well that you can't get dust and lint inside the machine. As long as you keep all the outside clean, that's fine. The inside have been given grease, thick grease, which lasts for forever. It just really does last forever. Your job is to make sure all this lint that's building up, all this fluff building up, is got rid of. You need to get rid of it, because what happens if you don't, the oil that you put on there felts up with the lint, so it becomes a fabric, as it were. You get felt, and that causes problems for all the joints. So everywhere, and this is on sewing machines as well as overlockers, there should be a big gap there, a nice deep gap between the feed dogs, but you might not see it because you've built up weeks and weeks, months and months, or years and years of lint and dust, that it's solid, and then your fabric can't move as well. The feed dogs don't work as efficiently. So, and that's the same with the knives. So keeping it all nice and clean, keeping all the gunk away, will help keep the machine running as new. And I'm going to lift up the press foot, place the cotton in there, put the press foot down, and just rub up and down, and you can feel friction there. All I've got in here is a teaspoon, tablespoon worth of soap powder. So just a sprinkling really. And then you can get all your brushes and give them a good wash in there. So if you've got, see how quickly that gets clean. Right, so rinse it out in water, get rid of the soap and rinse it out and just place it in a cup to dry. If you dip your cloth in there and you've got any marks on your machine, just squeeze it out and just go round and give your machine a good wipe down. And this is just caring for your machine. This isn't a service. This isn't anything other than just cleaning your machine and getting it ready for a new day. And this is what I try to do once a week to all my machines. I've never paid for a service. I only started repairing machines in the last 5 years. But I've been sewing for 40, would you believe? And I've never really paid for a service because I've never needed to. What I do is just keep my machines clean. And now I'm going to tell you about 3-in-1 oil. Now, 3-in-1 oil is perfect for this. It's even got a sewing machine on the back like it has traditionally. You will get people saying to you, no, I can only use Janome oil on my machine. Well, I'm sorry, but they get their oil from the same company who make this. And this is a natural oil. People will say to you, it's a Singer machine, I am only going to use Singer oil. Working in the oil industry, I can tell you this is going to be fine. I volunteer at the Quarry Bank Mill in Manchester as well. Spoke to the engineers there and they said this 3-in-1 oil is perfect and sound for their machines. So if it's sound for their machines, if they're happy with it, why wouldn't we in our homes use it? I am not going to pay somebody £12 for the same bottle. I've just paid £1.50 for this. And it does the same thing. It's got the same ingredients. Everything is the same. They might tell you it's not. If they've fiddled with it and manufactured it to be something synthetic, then that's when you need to be worrying, because you don't want to be putting in your machine something they claim to be better. We've had that issue before. So look for machine metal on metal. So here's metal on metal. That's going up and down in that groove. I'm going to just put 1 drop in there. Just 1 drop. Like that, you see, and it's dripped down, and just move it up and down. You don't want any more than that. You really don't want to be putting too much in your machines. Let's flick this up. That moves up and down. So I'm going to put a drop just there. That was probably half a drop. Okay, and then where my knife goes up and down, I'm going to place a drop in there and a drop on that joint there. I'll just grab a couple of needles, go in there. Just clean inside the ankle, make sure it's all fine. There we go, all done. And there we go. Back to working brand new again, and that really was it. All it needed was a good clean and a little bit of TLC. I've kept everything at factory settings, so we're on 3s. Stitch length, keep it generally at 3. I'm on a differential feed of 1, and there we go, perfect. So just keep your machines clean and they'll be working for you beautifully forevermore. Take care. Hopefully this video has helped you. Please comment and let me know if it has. If you're still having issues, let me know and I'll see if I can help you. Obviously in this crisis we want to make sure that all of you have access to sewing machines. You never know when you need it. Take care.